Hi, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, thank you so much for having me here today.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming over.
I know how busy you are, so I really appreciate you.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's great to chat with you.
So, sometime last year, in the fall of last year, we got the shed installed for you.
Yep.
I'm curious how things have been working out for you, but before we get there, could you tell me a little bit about how things have been before you got the shed installed? How were the routines before that?
Before I had a home office that was in a walk-in closet, and so I had very little room,
Mm-hmm.
and also it was right in the middle of the house, so there's a lot of noise and interruption that took place as well, and so it was less than ideal for sure. So I knew I needed my own contained space, separate from the daily chaos of a household.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so now that we have the shed installed, I'm just curious how things have been after you got the shed installed. Has it helped you in some ways?
Amazing. It's amazing because I'm able to come in to the shed and completely immerse myself in music without interruption. You still have some interruption. You still have a cell phone that'll ring or ding occasionally.
Yeah.
The dogs will run around in the yard a little bit and come up to the door. But other than that, I get into the flow, which was really hard to do inside the house because the flow was constantly being interrupted. And for me, working in a creative environment, the flow is very important because once you break that flow state, it takes a long time to get back into it. And so having this space that is just dedicated to my creativity allows me to get into a flow state and stay into a flow state for hours, which is fantastic.
Well, that's great to hear. It sounds like the shed has given you the focus and like happiness, really.
I was actually just thinking about this the other day, where a lot of other musicians that I network with, they don't have the luxury of this type of space. So and just to kind of think of how challenging it would be with what I'm doing now if I didn't have this space. If I was, in the middle of the household, in the middle of the daily chaos,
Right.
I would be half as productive as what I am.
So it brought you a lot of productivity as well.
For sure. And a lot of productivity, and then it's both, I'm able to do more, and I'm able to do more deeply, where I really get into it. And when that flow state hits and the creativity is really starting to come out, it just keeps flowing. It's just fantastic.
So you said you're a musician. What kind of music do you make, and what kind of instruments do you play, if you don't mind me asking?
So my primary instrument is drums, and so I have a electronic drum kit set up here in the shed.
Nice.
And then I have another studio with an acoustic kit that's really, really loud. And that's where I play loud, usually with a bunch of other musicians. So I do a lot of that, but then also at my station here, I do a lot of mixing, a lot of electronic type of music. There's a lot you can do with software these days with music.
That's right.
And so I'm doing a lot of that work now. And it's nice here because, I've got my PA system inside of here, and so as I'm mixing something, I can throw it in my PA system and really hear what does it sound like in a room, as opposed to just my headphones.
Without interrupting your family members,
Exactly right.
You can go crazy with it here.
That's exactly it, and so I can definitely put the volume up pretty good on this. And then I also do recording vocals and whatnot.
You sing?
As well. Yeah, I mean, yes. The answer is yes. Always trying to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so I do a lot of vocal work in
Cool.
here as well, which is, I would not want to be trying to sing lines over and over again, again in the middle of my house. So it's nice to have the space.
Totally get you. That's cool. Now that you have it and you've been using it for some time, would you recommend this space for anyone else?
For sure. Anybody that has, first of all, if you work from home in any way, shape, or form, if you are a creative person who has like some sort of creative hobby or a creative passion or a creative career, to allow you to get that break away from the house. For both of those, I can speak personally for both of those. It's been a dream come true having the shed. So I'm sure that there's other people who can think of other use cases for them, but for me, those two things, it's been fantastic. So.
I agree with you. I'm a musician myself, probably not as good as you are, but I play a brass instrument, and it's a great place to practice and work out of. Yes,
it is. It's great. It's like, and the other thing is, it's all like this whole space is my space. So there's no like, everything in here is my stuff. All of my decorations are mine. I have music instruments kind of everywhere. Like everything is designed and organized for me.
Yes.
And so it's like my own little adult clubhouse in that way, which is fantastic. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and stories. I appreciate you, and best of luck with everything you have going.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks,
All
man.
right.
Thank you.